What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 63 of the Beanball Podcast. We are your hosts, Alan and Alan.
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. It feels like it's been a while since we've gotten together and done one of these things.
Been quite a while.
I ended up getting COVID. I felt bad the day we were going to record. I told Alan not to come over. I was like, man, I'm not feeling up to it. And the next thing I know, I tested positive, so we had to take a couple weeks off.
Yeah. So that was unfortunate. And then I was actually going to make a couple videos, kind of fill in the news in between time. Then unfortunately, my wife got some bad news that her uncle was doing well. Went and saw him. He passed away the next day. So doing funerals, and then I went out of town this weekend to spend like a little father-son with my brother, little trip. But now we're back. Everything's getting back to normal-ish.
Yeah, man. How was the trip?
It was good. Warm. At first it was gonna be good, but then we got that little heat wave. But it still wasn't bad. It was a nice little breeze at the game on Sunday. But went to the big Air and Space Museum in Chantilly. Saw the space shuttle and stuff. Yeah. And that was awesome. Then we did I think we had 2 hours. We did the American History Museum real quick. Walked around DC. Apparently there was a run that day. And the sports bar that we picked to eat dinner at Saturday night.
There was a what?
A marathon.
Oh, okay.
Apparently that was the meeting spot afterwards.
Oh, wow. Where'd you get? Where was it?
It was in Crystal City. There was 3 stories to this bar. It was called Crystal City Sports Pub. I guess the restaurant's mostly the first floor, which where we ate. But they're like, oh, there's bars upstairs, and all these people keep coming in with the numbers on the front, going right up. Okay. So I was like, oh, okay. We picked a good spot.
Well, if it was too hot at the Redskins or the Washington football team game, you could have cooled down with the sewage shower.
Oh, dude, when you sent me that, I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, I would be so pissed.
Yeah, man. I wonder what they did for those people.
Oh, dude, I'd be asking for season tickets, a signed jersey, and a full new getup if I got some turd nuggets on me.
Oh, no. Well, this past weekend, we went down to Carolina with Dennis Anderson's Muddy Motorsports. They got the mud bogging and the monster trucks out there. Kids had a blast, and they got to race their Power Wheels out there, man. It's pretty crazy because our niece, she's they built her a vehicle that's basically power on the steering and brake on the steering, and they got 3 car batteries hooked up to a chain link system. That thing can go 30 miles an hour. Yeah, they waxed us. So we definitely I can figure I found some things online that I could hook up the Power Wheels, but it's getting deep into the rabbit hole, man. The whole game down
the rabbit hole like people go, little hobbies. Next you know, 5 hours later, you're like, I got some plans.
You're right. And then Noah, man, he's on his little teeny Power Wheels that I hooked up, and he's just cruising. Everybody's, oh, yeah, he's having so much fun. And it was great. It was a good time, man.
That's good, man. That is good to hear.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get right into it. Speaking of this past weekend, the Mets-Yankees Subway Series, the 20th anniversary of 9/11. What a series that was.
Yeah, man. What a series. It was definitely entertaining, to say the least. The actual game on the 9/11 tribute or whatever, that one was a really good game as well.
And that game cost me $500 parlay.
Oh, no.
The one that messed up was that game, and I was dreadful watching the end towards it. I'm like,
what were you playing on?
DraftKings.
Okay. So what was the parlay?
I did 5 or 6 different games and got them all correct. And that one I'm just watching. I'm like, this one's gonna cost me. And then the overthrow when they took the lead, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then I thought there was hope when Pete cracked that. Looked like it was gonna be a home run, but unfortunately to the center field and just came up short.
Oh yeah, deepest part of the field.
Oh man, but the pregame ceremony was awesome.
Yeah, they brought back some of the old team.
The 2001 team that was out there escort the firefighters and the police officers.
You know why that's cool is because that's probably about the time we were really getting into the Mets and that's the team we grew up with basically.
99 2000. I really got into it, and then that all, and then of course them trying to make the playoffs again that year after losing the World Series. Man, that would have been an interesting Subway Series if it happened that year.
Yeah, it would.
But of course, it didn't happen. Yankees win, but then they lose to the Diamondbacks that year. But it was awesome. And then, as the Yankees and Mets stood together on the side of the field during the ceremony, I thought Bobby Valentine and Joe Torre were going to throw the pitch out to each other, but they just each threw a pitch out to, I think it was the 2 firefighters or 1 cop, 1 firefighter.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It was good atmosphere. Then, like I said, the game was back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Yankees took that one at the end over a bad throw by Baez. Didn't plant his feet right and just huffed it over, and of course got the third baseman to score, and it never recovered. But then the next night was even more entertaining. Every night, so Friday night, I think MLB Network had that game.
Okay.
Fox had to have the 9/11 game,
and then,
you know.
And then ESPN.
And then ESPN had the Sunday night game. And
yeah.
if Lindor had not have a moment yet, that night was his moment.
Absolutely, man. Dude hits 3 home runs when they count.
Yeah.
And I think he was up to 2 home runs when Giancarlo
they started
his.
Well, when he took his second one, he started saying something to his friend that's on the Yankees, like, yeah, I got you. And then I guess Stanton didn't like that.
Well, I don't know what it was. What was the gesture for? It was almost like he was whistling at him. Like, was he trying to say that Giancarlo was cheating or something?
Well, that was, they said, like, they thought that was the night previous, which they believe that. And it comes down to, I think they said Walker was technically tipping his pitches. So maybe they caught on to it, and the whistle was kind of like look. But Lindor said something to his buddy, and then I guess Stanton didn't know that, and he yapped something after he hit the game-tying home run, and Lindor and Baez, started yapping. Of course, everyone got on the field.
You know what was funny about that is that when he hit his last home run,
the third one,
they showed Giancarlo. He was so mad. He looked so butthurt. He was like, man.
And then, of course, he had an opportunity, and then it was a pop-out to Lindor to end the game. But
so, needless to say, we were entertained, for sure.
Dude, yeah. And I love the memes. It was like the Baez and Lindor, the couple we didn't need in New York. We didn't know that we needed. I'm like, yo, they are characters. I'm like, but man. So,
but yeah, I mean, speaking of the series and stuff, I mean, yeah, it was pretty entertaining for sure. The Mets took the series, and Pete's been looking good, man. Alonso's he's been coming up clutch pretty often.
Struggling lately, but in moments he's been more clutch this year.
Right.
Of course, he just was the second fastest to 100 home runs, just shy of Ryan Howard being number one.
Just imagine how quickly he could have gotten there without the COVID year.
Yeah. So it's like, man, like, who knows the slump? Between last year. So we'll see. Because I think, what is it? Judge the other night hit the second fastest to 150.
Yeah.
So you're talking Pete's like 49 something now because he hit, I think, 2 cents.
And it makes sense that both of those guys are the quickest because
of
the rookie year.
year. Absolutely,
man. I mean, you start off like that, it's kind of hard not to get there unless you just stop for some reason.
Yeah.
Unless you hit like a Chris Davis type thing going on.
So with that Sunday night game, a lot of people are asking, like, is this one of the best games yet? And you think about, there's 4 games total, or you can think about other game, but people are asking the Betts walk-off catch with Dodgers versus Padres early in the year, the Field of Dreams game, Simeon's walk-off blast against Oakland, his old team.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Subway Series finale.
Look, man, I'm going to tell you my vote right now.
It's the Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams game.
I think if I go by this top, I think that's one. I think the Subway Series finale was 2.
Subway Series is fine, but that Field of Dreams game, they could not have drawn it out any better than it was. It was a movie.
Yes.
It was ups and downs, and the guys walking out of the cornfields. I mean, we had Kevin Costner there, and then to top it off,
back and forth, the home runs.
And to top it off, we had Tim Anderson hit a walk-off. Man, it was that you can't
into the cornfield.
Dude.
Fireworks going off.
That was exciting.
Yeah.
No, that
when I saw
chills.
this, I'm like, it's not hard for me. Field of Dreams. I love how the Subway Series, the back and forth talking and the home runs.
And that's fun too. It's fun. But like you said, it's a fun game, but you cannot top the Field of Dreams game this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, no.
I'm still getting tingly feeling right now just thinking about it.
Yeah, the back and forth, that was just an awesome game, and the balls are flying, and then the drama, like, okay, bottom of the 9th, last chance, and Anderson knocked it, knew it, just watched it, and then fireworks went off.
Yeah, great.
Celebrating. Yeah.
Great game, man. And it's good because, it definitely makes me want to go see the game there.
Yeah, like if they somehow keep doing this in the lottery system and somehow I have the money, I'm definitely going one year. I just want to go period to see the field, but to experience the game, nothing's going to be like that first game. Like every year is going to be cool. It's going to be that that little star on the schedule.
Well, they set the pace. They're like, hey, this is the one you got to compare it to.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to top that first game.
Absolutely. I mean, games are going to come close. I mean, the only other thing that could be better is, I don't know, maybe a perfecto or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Speaking of perfectos, the other day I was watching, I don't know if it was MLB Network or something, but they were showing a classic game, and it was like the perfect game, I don't know, by Randy Johnson, man. It was pretty fun to watch.
Yep. Okay.
So I was like, oh, this is cool. I haven't got to see anything like this, because you don't. How many times you take the time to go back and watch an old game? You don't. It just happened to be on. I was like, hey, let me watch Randy because that's my favorite pitcher. See what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff, man. Well, speaking of pitchers, the Dodgers. Trevor Bauer's season is over. Are you surprised?
No.
Yeah. I mean, with what's been going on in his personal life, he's been out for quite a while. Do we know how long he's been out?
So when he originally took the investigation they put him on was July 2nd.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, who's been away from Dodgers for the first began separation interrogation was on July 2nd. Well, Maine through September, and they said with the whole postseason, so October as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, they decide, most likely suspension probably come this offseason if they do decide, which, part of the statement from Bauer's co-agents wrote that today Mr. Bauer agreed to extend his administration leave through the playoffs in a measure of good faith in an effort to minimize the distraction to the Dodgers organization and his teammates. He continues to cooperate with the MLB investigation and refute that the baseless allegations are against him. So it's good faith that he decided just I'm not gonna be available. Just go and nip in the butt with 3 weeks left.
Yeah, no, and like I said, the biggest takeaway I'm getting from this is it sucks that Bauer's not there. However, the Dodgers do not need him at this moment.
No,
they have another man in there who's making things crazy.
Yeah,
Max Scherzer.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely stepped up, and that was a great accusation for him. So, the biggest thing is what's next for the Bauer and Dodgers. Whether the situation is charged with a crime. Sources around have told, ESPN and other stuff that they feel like the 30-year-old, reigning, Cy Young winner, it's going to be very interesting because, it's multiple women now. Of course, the other one from Ohio. So, if the district attorney decides to file charges, then we'll have to wait for that to pan out,
Absolutely.
But a lot of people don't think maybe it's going to happen because between the restraining order case, they believe that it was consensual. Even the detective said so. And so it's going to be interesting. But with the MLB program of the domestic violence, you're definitely going to be seeing suspension. How much? And we'll see how far this gets dug in, what time of the off season, CBA. So, we'll see how it handles the investigation once it's completed. Awesome. So you think about for what is that? So we got what? April, May, June. So 3 months of Bauer for $40 million.
Yeah.
45, I forgot this year.
Yeah, that's tough. Thank God the Mets didn't do this or he didn't come with the Mets because I want to be happy right now.
Dude, you know how wow, we have the second pitcher and and then especially if we're dead hunt and then after that it's we lose it after that. That would
yeah, man, that's not a great start for
yeah.
them.
So with that, it's kind of interesting. A couple days later, they finally put Marcell Ozuna on the administration leave. I'm like, this guy's been out since when, and y'all now just doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, come to find out that all the charges were dropped, the felony charges.
Okay.
But now he's assigned misdemeanor charges. He's got to do a almost a rehab.
Right.
And then community service and stuff. Let's see, what is it? The resolution. He was placed on 6 months of supervision, must undergo a 24-week family violence program, which include anger management and a psychological assessment compound. He also must complete 200 hours of community service, refrain from legal drug use, and avoid any contact with his wife. Okay. Also, the 6-month supervision will be terminated after 3 months if he completes all the requirements early. So, finally, I've been wondering, what's been going on with this? He was arrested on May 29th.
I know, man. That's a long time.
I'm I haven't really heard much, and finally, the other couple days later, it's oh, okay, finally. Of course, he just signed that 4-year, $65 million deal. So, we'll see what Atlanta does with that.
Yeah.
After all this is said and done next season.
All right. Well, speaking of Dodgers and
Mr.
pitchers,
Scherzer.
Yeah, Max Scherzer. So he makes history. Got his 3,000th strikeout.
Yeah, 13 years ago, Max Scherzer came running out of Chase Field bullpen as a young pitcher. Now you're talking about, 11th pick, big guy. But now the 37-year-old has done only what less than 20 people have done, striking out the 3,000 strikeout club.
Yeah, I mean, this season, it wasn't looking like he was going to have the best year.
Yeah,
and I don't know if 3,000 was on the table or not. Just the way he was going.
I think it was one of them where figures that it was within
it was
the two something
for sure. Oh, with his average. Yeah,
we're okay, he could possibly do it.
But like I said, was unsure because he was struggling with the Nationals.
Yeah.
But for some reason when he got onto the Dodgers, he's been killing it, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what do you think about the 3,000 strikeouts? Is anybody else going to get there?
So we know we just got this done a couple years ago with Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
So now between Verlander and him are two active guys. You think about on the list, I think Curtin Clayshaw's up there. He can probably get to it. And Zach Greinke, I think, is another one that's close. So like those are the two top of the list. Like you were thinking, those are most likely the next two if they can keep it up. It's interesting that that like how he said he's number 19. There's more people in the 3,000 hit club than the strikeout club. So that's how
think about that.
It just adds more to the guaranteed Hall of Fame resume that he already got. I think 8-time All-Star, 3-time Cy Young, which possibly a 4th this year the way he's been pitching. So he's just the second, like we said, active pitcher to do it. But he said it was hard to describe the emotion. It was an awesome achievement, an awesome milestone. Not too many people have reached this milestone, and it's an awesome thing to accomplish. To me, this is a testament to my durability, to making my 30-plus starts in a year, and year in and year out. Everyone can have the ability to do this, but few has the durability to do this. All the hard work I put in, have this moment, that's what it feels like. And not only did he do this at the game, he was pushing the limit to a perfect game. So I think he lost it. I think it was the 8th inning. Like, I'm like, are we finally going to get it? Is Max going to be the guy? And then there goes the hit. And it's like, nope, not again.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's having a great year. With the Dodgers.
Yeah,
I mean, he was doing fine with the Nationals. But
he was an All-Star. Remember he got the start.
Right.
So,
but when he went to the Dodgers, man, he's got 8 games started, 6-0 record with a .88 ERA.
Yeah.
It's like DeGrom out there, man.
Yeah.
So
and then the opponent batting line is 158. In 51 innings in those 8 starts.
Yeah, I mean, overall this year he's over 200 strikeouts. I think it's about 219 or so. So he's right on par with what he's supposed to do. Man. Max Scherzer's one of those special guys, special talents, man. He's really good.
And then you think about like not only him went in the trade, you got Trey
Turner.
So,
I love Trey Turner.
Yeah.
You know that, man. That's my guy.
So through 6 weeks, he's already doing the comparison as this is the best trade acquisition ever. Because, CeCe's back in 2008, Randy Johnson in 98, and a few others. But depending on how Scherzer finished, many innings as, Corbin Burns racks up. The question is, can this be Cy Young year for him between what he did before and what he's currently doing? So his total season stats, he is 14-4 with a 2.17 ERA, which is leading baseball, not just National League baseball. In 27 games, 27 starts, 1 complete game, and 162 innings, he has 100 hits, 42 home runs, a .82 WHIP with a 0.175 average hitting opponents.
Yeah, man. Pretty impressive, you ask me.
Yeah, I'm like, I think
he's a shoo-in right now.
So you're thinking about like, in that is Corbin Burns, like you said, and then the other one is his now teammate Walker Buehler. You can say those are the top 3 for the National League Cy Young right now.
Absolutely.
I'm between Zach Wheeler, he's kind of been putting his name in there, but he's been up and down. It's unfortunate. Like he was majority of the year, but then what Max has done since the trade deadline, he's just like he hit that next gear once he got in that Dodger blue.
Yeah, man. I mean, at this moment, I'm gonna have to give the nod to Max right now.
And then if he does do it, he'll think it'd be only the. I thought I had it written down. Oh, he'll be the 5th ever pitcher to win 4 Cy Youngs.
Yeah. So think about that. Think of all these great pitchers that he's. Yeah, man. That is impressive.
Yeah. A couple years ago we said he pretty much gave up the mantle of the best pitcher to DeGrom, but with DeGrom hurt. Scherzer's doing his thing. I almost think with 3 weeks left, something's got to dramatically happen between him and then Corbin Burns stay his solid self. I think this is now Max Scherzer's Cy Young to lose.
Yeah, I agree.
It's insane. Like, go from like, okay, it's the average pitcher, might be a great trade acquisition to, oh, this is our Cy Young winner. It's going to be very interesting to see how these next 3 weeks play out for these couple pitchers. So we'll see if he can do it. So... All right, next is, since we're already done, I think we just finished up before we were posted our break of COVID and family issues and stuff. Dodgers finally did their city jersey.
Okay. Yeah.
So now we have the complete year of all the jerseys. Who won this year's jerseys?
Well, in my opinion, I like Miami's jersey.
I do. I think Miami got the first. And I think White Sox is my second.
I completely agree.
I thought the Dodgers one was a little plain. Dodgers.
It almost reminded me of the regular Dodgers. So
and I almost think like, what is it? Their batting practice jerseys or their spring training jerseys. I saw the blue. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that they haven't done. Kind of like the Giants with the,
with the G,
like the fog ish
yeah,
to it.
Yeah. It's okay, but yeah, the Miami one really pops.
Yeah.
I really like it. And like you said, the Southside jersey that Chicago had was pretty sweet too.
Yeah.
But the Miami one's my favorite.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, like with the Cuban influence, a lot of people, and they still wear it here and there. Like, it wouldn't surprise me that this becomes now their alternate jersey.
That would be cool, man.
Like, if this becomes, thing like this is their alternate jersey now, which maybe the City Connect jersey does come that. Next year we'll get our next like 7-8 teams to do it. Then year after that, then finally when everyone has done it, you now have an alternate jersey to use.
Speaking of Miami, you know who I saw during the series, the Subway series? The Marlins man. Yep. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he was definitely there. And I was like, I guess like he's taking a little finally a breather, but now he's like, well, I'm back. This is a big game.
Well, it's cool. I was thinking, I don't know if this is his goal or anything, but he always gets those seats, and you always see him. So anytime you ever pull footage from basically New York game stuff, that dude's there, man. He's sitting there. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think he's a lawyer or something, so like a corporate lawyer. So, probably New York is another place he does a lot of business. So
probably.
So he probably knows the people
I always
to get
see him
those
in
seats.
the New York seats. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, are you ever at a Miami game? Not that I watch that many of them, but
yeah. It's definitely like Miami games, and then the big games, he always like travels well.
Okay.
I definitely see that guy a lot. So one thing that has came to the end a couple weeks ago, which is kind of sad, and this is not just they were the first, but now all of them have done it. But Topps and MLB will end their relationship in 2026 after 75 years together.
Yeah,
man,
and it's crazy is because I always think of like MLB is starting to do different things and they're starting to like move on. Like they got new Nike jerseys.
Yep.
They move on from the baseball. The Rawlings baseball.
Yeah, they bought Rawlings.
So now they're ending this partnership with Topps to start it with a rival company.
Fantastic.
Fanatics.
Yeah.
So the Fanatics are actually doing the cards.
Yep. They're gonna start.
That's crazy, man. Because like when you think of top tier cards, it's Topps.
Yeah.
That one always comes to mind. Upper Deck, it's over there somewhere. I would never think of Fanatics cards.
Yeah, like Topps is baseball. Like, did you think about? They have like the Marvel, the Star Wars, soccer. Mm-hmm. But when you think Topps, you think majority they have the baseball contract.
Right. When I think of cards that I want to purchase, it's usually Topps.
Yeah.
Oh, well, nowadays I guess people want to purchase NFTs and whatever else.
Yeah.
But Topps is the physical card that I think is in the game.
So. Yeah, there's been plenty of other baseball card vendors over the years. Fleer, Bowman, Upper Deck, Panini, but Topps has always been that one, and they have the right through 2025, and it's unreal because the deal is kind of shocking because not only they're unaware that they're negotiating with someone else.
Oh yeah, they
never kind of got like look, we're doing this, and you come like, but apparently someone said that they did, but. As recent as the All-Star game, they had conversations. They never indicated that they were negotiating with anyone.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's crazy is that I think Topps went public about a year ago or so.
They're about to.
Oh, they're about to go public.
Yes.
Oh, so this cannot help their stock at all. Because I'm just trying to think in my head, where are they going from here? What is the future for Topps?
I think I remember now, I think I heard whoever was supposed to take it public have now pulled it.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you think of other sports like football and stuff like that. You think of Fleer and other kind of companies. What is Topps going to do? That's what I'm just trying to figure out, man.
And now it's not just baseball. They've gotten NFL and the NBA contract.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, you're going to like this? I'm like, what are they doing? So they'll create their own trading card company that gives both the baseball players, the MLB and the Players Union a seat on the board. Mm-hmm. So I bet that's something with NFL and NBA is doing as well. So, what's next? They're going to take some of the $1 billion that they're backed, So the question is, do they buy a company? Maybe they buy Topps that's already established where they can manage and throw more money into it.
But it sounds like to me that Topps wasn't trying to sell. If they're trying to go public, they're thinking about expanding.
Well,
so
now with losing your main deal,
but see, you got to have
they
got to have backup plans. Like if Topps is thinking you can't put all your eggs in one basket, so you have 5 years left. You got to figure something out. But you're right. It's going to be interesting to see what.
That's a lot of people are now fearing a little bit. Like, are they going to overproduce cards now? Are they going to try to get all the money they can out because they got 5 years? But then you think about it's not just Topps now. You think Panini's now losing their NBA and NFL contracts. Now, what they're going to do?
Exactly.
They have baseball cards because of the players union. They're losing that here in 2 years because players are all going to Fanatics.
So my question is, first of all, how is Fanatics even going to produce these cards? Because Topps, Panini, Fleer, Upper Deck, all these guys, they have systems in place.
I think they have to buy one.
You have to partner with somebody. I'm just saying, Fanatics has to have something in motion right now if they're already signing this deal. So who are they merging with?
So if you think Panini only contract without those two, they have the UFC. They just got that from Topps a couple years ago. I think last year, if I remember correctly. So it's like, okay, at least they have someone. Yes, soccer is top, so they can say, okay, soccer is starting to blow. Maybe this can be we go all in on soccer, and the Star Wars does okay, but to lose the baseball, it's going to be very interesting these next 4 years because this year was the 7th anniversary of Topps and MLB, and now it's like, ooh, you had to do it this year. Like you couldn't do wait till next year to kind of stab them in the heart.
Well, what's crazy is that Topps has been making baseball cards since 1951.
Yeah.
The company paid the Players Union $20.4 million in 2020. So the crazy part of this is that Topps was given the opportunity to match Fanatics, but they declined. So you're right. What kind of crazy contract did they have? Because obviously if Topps was like, we're not matching that, that means it didn't make sense financially.
Well, yeah, Topps is a $1 million company. While
that'd be way more than that.
Fanatics is a $1 billion company.
Well, so you're saying the Fanatics are going to take a hit just to do it, just so that they can get the monopoly?
The interesting thing was I thought they weren't going to get NBA because the Fanatics owner owns part of the 76ers. So I thought it was something, maybe they can't do it, but they got the deal done.
Well, you know what? I mean, Fanatics is
so they had the money. They had to throw money. And like I said, if they're going to be on the board, that had to be another thing. Like they'll help control the cards, like MLB and the players.
Right.
Especially with the MLB, like buying Rawlings and stuff, they want more control. This gives an opportunity to control the cards.
I mean, and like you said, man, Fanatics, they're just moving through everything because even Shohei signed an exclusive deal with Fanatics.
And I remember a couple years ago when MLB had its own shop. Now Fanatics, all of them, basketball, football, they're all through them.
Yeah.
Like they're just going, so now they're taking all the major cards.
Well, we've been collectors for quite a while on autograph stuff, and I remember when Fanatics was kind of a small company still.
New.
We were like, I don't know if we should trust their autographs yet, because we're like, hey, Steiner, this and something that, like Fanatics,
they
I don't know.
Skyrocketed.
Exactly. It came out of nowhere, man. And like you said, cards, there was a time when they were on the downtrend, but they're on the way back up. Earlier this month, the Honus Wagner card sold for over $6 million. So, people still collect them quite often. It's just going to be kind of weird to see how they do it. And like you said, I wonder who they're going to go through. It just blows my mind. Like, are they going to start from scratch?
And then the biggest thing, I think some people are like torn, but some people, it could be a good thing because I watched one video where he opened a box of Topps card and the 2 guaranteed autographs were the same player, which was like a B-level player. They're like, this is the stuff we're talking about.
Okay, so
like maybe it's going to be better.
So maybe if Fanatics puts the resources into making an experience for the purchaser, the users, that would be cool. Because if you're going to get a box from Fanatics and it's going to have some pretty cool stuff in it, then yes, that would people would like that more than buying a Topps.
Yeah, like Panini has jumped up the prices, so I wonder if they knew something was coming. Like between the last 2 years, Panini has jumped up dramatically, where you can buy a $500 box and maybe get a couple $1,000 cards out of it. Now the box is now $3,000-$4,000.
Right.
You might break even if you're lucky. So I wonder if they knew something was coming.
So and like you're saying, like with all these expensive boxes and things like that, the companies have been innovative.
Yeah.
They have been making more money because they're doing stuff like that. It makes me think now that they only have so much time left with this with MLB. Yeah, will they push the box even further so they can find a better thing to come when they come out of this? Like, will they start doing some crazy stuff? Who knows?
Yeah.
Like you get maybe you can get a case of one-on-ones. I
So
don't know, man.
the Transcendent case that Topps does, which I remember the first time I did it a couple years ago, you're guaranteed 50 autos in it, one 101 auto of a certain card, and then like an invitation to their Topps party, which one year it was King Griffey Jr., another year was Mike Trout there.
Now that's an experience.
So in the box, I think it was $10,000 if you bought it yourself.
Okay.
So I've watched a lot of breakers buy into it, and one of the things was you get that invitation. And I think the owner of the one of the boxes, like he bought it off the person so he can go, and he said the experience was wonderful.
Yeah.
So if they can do it with the billions of dollars that Fanatics have, what experience do they think they can do? oh, we're going to take you to a courtside game at the NBA game, and you're going to meet this player after the game.
Yeah, or a whole team
or you get
function.
You see that jersey he's on? You're getting that after the game.
So yes. Now, see, that's where you're getting excited if they can push the envelope to do something like that. And I'm just saying, or are they just going to take it backwards and just push out cards hey, here's cards, just like here's cards,
overprint it,
cards. Maybe not even do one of ones. I'm just saying maybe they just print regular basic cards. Say these are your players. So who knows? But one thing's for sure, Topps and its peers, they all need to start pushing the box and do something. So maybe I don't know what they need to do, but. This is a huge hit.
Yeah. So now, since they know, next year we'll see if prices increase, what the card quality is going to be like, how much cards are going to be out there. Like if we're going to get like 5 new sets, like we had these in the works. Like no, you're just money hungry now, man. Like so, we'll have to wait and see what MLB, NBA, NFL, Panini, all of them do these next couple of years. So we know MLB is 2026. I feel like Panini loses the baseball one in 2023, and I feel like NFL, NBA are within 3 to 4 years too. I think MLB had the longest contract remaining, so I think we'll get. So I think either basketball or football, we're gonna get the first taste of what Fanatics is gonna do.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah, that'd be interesting to look at. All right, well let's move on.
So the year of the no hitter.
Yeah, man. So speaking of history, it looks like the Brew Crew came through.
Yes,
and through this. History made 9th no-hitter of the season, man. 9th one. It was combined. So we had 2 pitchers to throw it.
Yeah, so what we talked about earlier with Max Scherzer, Cy Young, the other guy is Corbin Burns. Throwing the game, and then I was like, okay, he's through 8.
Right, he went 8, struck out 14. He walked 1 person, so why didn't he come back out there for the 9th?
When you have one of the best closers in the game, they said I figured, I might need him for the rest of those, so why stretch it when I know if anyone can do it, I know Josh can do it, and, well, he did it to complete the no-hitter. But yeah, Burns was brilliant. He had no base runners until the walk in the 7th. He struck out 14 over 115 pitches, 4 giving away to Hader in the 9th. Anyone would want to keep the pitching in that situation, but if there's anyone that I would want out there in the 9th, it would have been Josh. Burns said after being pulled with 3 outs to go.
Well, like you said, man. I mean, he said he had to fight to get out of the 8th inning. So he knew he had no shot in the 9th. He was like, look, man, the arm's gone. He's like, well, I can't do it. He's like, I want to do it. But yeah, man, so that's pretty cool.
Yep. So Kirsten is the first no-hitter since 1987 for the Brew Crew.
Wow.
Is this no-hitter drought second longest active in baseball, only behind iconic Cleveland, who they throw against.
And it's funny because Cleveland broke its own record of being no-hit twice in 1883, 1908, and 1951.
Now it's been 3 times. And most insane fact is that all 3 times they've been no-hitted this year, the starting pitcher for the Cleveland Indians have been Zach Pazak.
Man, that's tough.
I'm like, well, if anytime he's pitching the rest of you, like, look, we're not getting no-hitted tonight. But 3 times.
So Zach Plesac
3 times this year
that's
as
tough.
A starting pitcher,
that
your
is
team
tough.
got no-hitted.
But it's not as bad as DeGrom never getting run support. So it sucks those outings, but it's not like that happens every time you get out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So 9th no hitter, man. What do we think? What do we think it is? We think it's the ball.
Well, that couple weeks, it could have been the sticky substance. We had
could have been a lot.
We had a no hitter like
sticky
once a week
with the ball. The dead ball.
Pitchers now throwing average 98 miles an hour. Could be different. Hitters not being up to par yet beginning of the season, because it was just very interesting beginning of the season. And then we got quiet there, so a lot of people were like, well, it must have been the sticky stuff. Then we had Diamondbacks, first career start technically through a no-hitter. So it's like, okay, there goes the tie. Then technically it would have been broken already if you counted the 2 7-inning no-hitters that we've had this year.
Yep.
But now we got a complete 9. So broke the first record. I think it was in 1880. What was it? I had it written down. Did I? 1884 was the record that had 8 no-hitters that year.
Wow. Over
100 years, it took us to have 9 no-hitters in 1 year.
Man, that's crazy.
It is. Man, baseball.
Exactly.
And when I saw the fact it was Cleveland, I'm like, damn, this is like the 3rd time.
Yeah, usually I think it's like the Diamondbacks or something.
I'm like, oh my, ouch. But then when the fact about Zach, I was like, oh, that one hurts more. I was like, bad your team got no-hit 3 times, but I'm like, you're the pitcher that faced the pitcher, and you unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh my God! I mean, it's
probably
cool.
got the L all 3 times.
It's cool that you got to witness that many no-nos, but not while you're throwing the ball. That's tough, man.
Well, Cleveland Indians, you can take this year as an L, throw it away, burn your name because you'll be Guardians next year. You can set all new records.
Yeah, all new records
next year.
That's right, man.
Man, so with the race, between the season dying down,
Yep.
the home run race has now gotten a lot closer than it was a couple weeks ago.
Absolutely.
So we now have a new home run leader of right now.
We do.
Ohtani has lost it. Vlad Jr. has took it.
Which is kind of what I expected, man. I mean, because, I'm getting a lot of notifications. Vlad hits another home run. Vlad hits another home run. Vlad hits another home run. Shohei hit a home run. Vlad hits another home run. So it's like Shohei's, he's slowing down, but he's doing double duty, man. He's still got to throw the ball, and now he's got to worry about pitching. It's not like he just has to focus on one kind of craft.
And then it's not like he has other people around him that
are
they're gonna pitch around you and then face that guy.
They got to go after you.
Blue Jays. If I face around him, then I gotta face Craig or I got Bo Bichette. And I'm trying to win these games.
Right, like you said, it's all situational.
And Blue Jays are in it technically right now. They are in the playoffs.
Yeah, they are.
So man.
So right now it's a close one. I'm not going to put the next two guys in there. I think it's going to be between Vlad, Shohei, and Salvador Perez.
Yeah.
And Salvador Perez, what in the world, man? Like this, like grandfather
catcher,
time. He's
40th.
Look, man, he's not used to doing this kind of
No.
stuff. He broke his own record for RBIs.
Yeah.
He's got 109 RBIs right now.
It's insane.
He's having a solid year.
Yeah.
Nobody would put that here at this time of his career.
And you think about the Royals of all player, you thought this guy was, after missing the season with the injury a couple years ago, like this guy's done. He has best years are behind him.
Right.
And look at him.
Yeah, man. So speaking of that, like I said, so going back to the home runs, I'm not, like I said, Vlad, he is a raker, man. He goes out there, he's got 45 home runs, and he's also leading the league in hits, man. 173. He hits. That's what he does.
And now he has another bragging right because now he has more home runs in a single season than his dad.
Which is cool and crazy at the same time because we know his dad is a slugger.
Yeah.
He's an all-star slugger, man. It's pretty cool. But no matter how it turns out, man, I'm not going to take anything away from anybody else because, like I said, Shohei Ohtani's having one heck of a year. Like you said, it's tough that he's on a team that's not in the situation
really,
to help him out.
Them three, like you just said. Simeon, if he somehow got hot,
which he could,
technically he's only six behind with the Blue Jays, but that definitely helps. And then Tatis down there,
yeah, I mean, look, they all can do it.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking it's between these three, regardless of how it ends.
I think so too. Especially with this little bit time left.
Exactly. I mean, I would be a little surprised if Salvador breaks through it, but he's in the running. I think Shohei can still catch on. Maybe they end up with a tie, but it's definitely between those three.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Now the question is with roughly 3 weeks left, are we going to see 50? Now you're looking at it it's going to get, these games are meaningful, especially for the Blue Jays. Yeah. Can Vlad get 5 more to get to that 50 mark?
Yeah, I think 50 is
Can Ohtani get 6 to get that 50 mark?
50 is a great number.
Yeah.
If you hit 50, you've done work, man.
Yes.
Hard work. I would love to see Shohei and Vlad hit 50. It's going to be hard.
Yes.
Especially for Shohei. I think Vlad has a good shot. I mean, he's only 5 away.
Yeah.
Like I said, Shohei's only 6 away. It's just going to be interesting to see how it plays out because, like you said, Blue Jays are in it. They're in a run. They're in a race. I'm not sure who they have to file that are going to end their season with. But,
that's why I was like, let me go pull up and see what they got remaining.
Shohei has a good opportunity because they're not in it to win it. So, they're just going to go out there and play the game. But depending on who Toronto plays against.
All right. So, Toronto, of course, beat Tampa Bay today. So, this weekend they have the Twins.
Okay.
They're at Tampa Bay, at Twins. Home against the Yankees, and then they end at home with Baltimore.
Yeah, so he has.
So
a good
you're talking about 3 teams that are not in the race. Well, 2 teams with you face Twins twice, and then Baltimore to end the season. Definitely doable, especially what they did to Baltimore last weekend.
Exactly. Yeah. Would they put up an 11
runs.
Spot? They put up 11 in the 3rd or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The doubleheader game. They were down 10-0, and they scored 11 runs to win the game.
Nuts.
And then I think Sunday they scored 22 runs, which they said they scored this many points compared to the NFL Sunday teams.
So based on what you just told me, yes, Vlad has a real shot of hitting 50 because those teams aren't going to be playing hard.
No.
I mean, yes, they want to win, but at the same time, the talent isn't there to stop him if he can get a hold of one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the Angels play, but like I said, Shohei has a good shot, man. If he hits 50 home runs this year, this year, it's going to be one of the best years.
Like you said, it would have been a lot better if Trout was back, which they said today.
Trout's not going to come back, probably.
Most likely. You're talking about 3 weeks. Calf, they're going to give him the rest of time off, which we kind of figured about a month ago. We'll say about 3-4 weeks ago, we're like, with about a month left, they're not really in it. I don't see him coming back. So let's see. They are currently facing the White Sox. They have Oakland this weekend, Houston, Seattle, Texas, and Seattle, which only team that's not in the playoff race right now is Texas.
Man.
So, yeah, I think Angels is going to have it tough because they're all going to be trying to win those games. So, and then Royals, where are you? Kansas City. They're facing Oakland right now, Seattle, Cleveland, Detroit, Cleveland, Minnesota. So Salvador has a shot too, since they face a lot of bad teams as well. So it's going to be interesting. Like 3 weeks to go, see how these play out. It's going to be a very interesting show. I hope it comes down to that weekend where like someone's tied and
that would be cool. Yes, man, that would be exciting for sure.
So,
all right, yeah, but like I said, man, regardless of how it pans out, man, I still like Shohei for an MVP, man.
Yeah, I think
it's just
barring
unreal, man.
I think Vlad would have to win the Triple Crown to even make it competitive because of what Ohtani's done. Both,
yeah, with a crappy team, he's still 9-2.
Yeah,
with a 3 ERA, man, it's solid. Mm-hmm. It's very solid. Plus, what he's doing at the plate, unheard of. We haven't seen this. Mm-mm. We've heard stories about Ruth, but we have not seen a player actually do this, and he's doing it. So I'm loving it, man.
Yeah. So next we're gonna talk about is Ryan Braun finally officially retired.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
I thought he already did when the news come out. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, I thought he already retired. But okay.
It's just we haven't heard his name in a while.
I know he was a free agent, and I figured like he was retiring, so I thought that was done. But I guess he hasn't officially retired. Now, our 2011 National League MVP, and of course Brewers franchise home run king, has now officially retired on Tuesday.
Right. I mean, like you said, he hasn't played at all this year.
He had a terrible year last year, and had a $15 million option. With Brewers definitely did not pick that up.
Why would you? I mean, last year he had 30 hits, 2.33 ERA. It's
7 home runs.
Scary, man. It's scary. So
37s. He said he waited for many months. He posted a video on social media by the Brewers. While I still love this game very much, the time is right for me to retire from my playing days.
Yeah, I mean, we used to see him out there a lot back in the day. He's been one of the guys who's been great for the game. Now that he's retired, yeah, I mean, it's not surprising because, like you said, he's had such a bad year and he's already up there in age. Yeah. It's not unheard of.
Yep.
But what do you think about the team retiring his number? Do you think he's going to make that kind of thing happen or not?
They're going to have a pregame ceremony before this end of the season, if I remember correctly. But
is he good enough to be enshrined in their Hall of Fame?
I think so. Because right now he is the franchise home run leader. Talking about 352 home runs. He played all 14 years with the Brewers.
Right. That's good.
He ranks second in the history of the career RBIs, extra base hits, total bases, and doubles.
Right.
He ranks third in runs, in hits, triples, and stolen bases and walks.
So if not him, then who?
Yeah,
he's
I think
the guy.
He's going to get one of them. If you think about a guy that can be up there, you think about Yelich, if he can somehow pull around without getting these injuries together. But Ryan Braun was the Brewers there for those 10 years, especially.
Yeah, he was a high point for a team that
Yeah, especially there for I feel like it was like 5 years. He was always in MVP discussions.
Yeah.
So
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think he came second. I think the following year of his MVP year, and then ranked another top 3 year another year. But he was always in the top 10 there for 5-6 years. I think consistently. I feel like because always he was just solid. And of course the allegation of him the steroids, and then. They say he should turn in the MVP trophy to, was it Matt Kemp that year? I think he beat.
That was 2011. So, man, he won the Rookie of the Year his first year. Then he was also in the MVP discussion that year.
Uh-huh.
Then he was in the MVP discussion the next year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically 6 years in a row.
Yeah.
And he won one of those.
Second one.
And then he was in the discussion in 2016 as well.
Yep.
And all those years he won MVP. Obviously, he was All-Star as well. So, yeah, man, he's done a lot of good stuff there. But, yeah, like you said, man, going down to the end of the career, like, his highlights, he was, like, hitting 30s, 40 home runs a year, then started going down some, averaging, like, 20 to 17.
And he's not a big guy. Like, you think about the home run guys, you think of those big first basemen.
Mm-hmm.
He was an outfielder. The decline was there. We all figured, like, this is probably going to be it these next 2 years. And then finally they declined that option. And, of course, he finally officially has done it this year. So, congratulations. I hope your decision, well, it wasn't hard, but I know it wasn't, it took some time. Like you said, it took months to finally, like, maybe this is it.
To come to terms with is it over?
No calls? Like,
yeah, man, but like 352 home runs isn't bad, man. In 14 years, that's like 25 home runs a year. And if you take away the COVID year, it's obviously higher than that. So yeah, I think he had a pretty solid career. It's nothing to be ashamed about.
Nope.
But his batting average has been on the decline for quite a while.
Yeah.
So look, great career, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can say bad about him.
Yep.
The Brewers.
He'll be a Brewer.
Yeah.
Great. You can look that up.
He will be.
Yeah.
Do you think he has a shot in the Hall?
No.
He's won MVP, Rookie of the Year, 5 Silver Sluggers, 6-time All-Star. No?
I don't think so. I think now with the shorter time and then with the steroid allegation, but we'll see.
I mean, he's got over 1,000 RBIs. He's got under 2,000 hits though. Under 2,000.
So you're retired now. You're talking 5 more years.
His career WAR is a 47.1.
I think he's going to stay on the ballot all 10 years. He might eventually get in. It's going to be close. It all depends on the writers then.
Well, what do you guys think? Let us know. Do you think Ryan Braun is going to get in the Hall eventually?
Like, if he doesn't get it, could it be a senior vote one year? Possibly. It's just real hard, like, with some of those numbers. But, like...
Speaking of the Hall, who is going to be the person that you're going to be most sad about not getting into the Hall?
You talking about next year?
No. Just in general. Like
general?
Somebody is not going to make it to the Hall, and you're going to be sad about not doing it.
The
I'll tell you right now.
For me is David Wright.
David Wright. Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah,
but
if those injuries weren't happening,
God, if they stayed at Shea, just stay at Shea.
Stay at Shea, and then also, if he got, I think, was it 6 more, he would be the franchise leader in every category.
Yeah,
man. Came short against Strawberry's record.
So this is the same scenario. If I was a big Brewer fan, I might feel the same way if Ryan doesn't get in.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close
because he's there. I mean, he's got good stats.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be. But the biggest thing for me is the steroids. But who knows? And like I said, he can't be eligible for another 5 years. Then you're talking about you have 10 years to get in. So in 15 years, the writers might be a little more lenient to that era. Like, this was the thing. People tried it. Maybe so. Eventually, is he going to wait all 10 years? Probably.
Yeah.
But does he get in? There's a good possibility. It all depends on the writers. Like, the biggest test is going to be this year's vote with Bonds and Clemens last year.
I know one writer's not letting him in. The same one that let Jeter in.
Oh, dude, that little pun that he's like, "Thank you all the writers except for that one." I was like, "Ooh, he got you." So, we'll see. We'll see if he eventually gets in. So next we talk about the 2023 All-Star Game has been rumored to be going to the Seattle Mariners. Of course, next year is Dodgers, and then I think in a couple years they did announce that it was supposed to be Philly, I think in 2026. But so now we know after Dodgers next year, it is going to be back to Seattle for the first time since 2001, and we know Ichiro's year, and Ken Griffey's going to be definitely there, one of the ceremonies,
So that'll be fun. Absolutely.
And you think about, like, if I remember, that was a big home run derby year. I remember with it open. I think it was Sosa. It was the heart of the home run. Like,
man, and that's when the home run derby was hard, man.
Yeah.
10 outs. Just think about how hard that would be today.
Yeah. Philly is supposed to have it in 2026.
Okay. 2026.
So now we know 2022 is, of course, Dodgers next year. 2023 is now Seattle, rumored. And then 2026 is supposed to go to Philly. So the question is Atlanta going to ever get it back? How long are they going to make them wait? So that's what a lot of people thought. Maybe it was going to get it 2023. So maybe now you're thinking 2024 for Atlanta. But, T-Mobile Park, yes, it's 20 years old, but is still one of the best parks voted every year. So, last time they hosted the All-Star Game was actually the last time the Mariners made the playoffs.
Wow.
Which, the way they're going, they might barely miss it this year. You're thinking next year But you think about 2023, this might be an interesting team to be talking about during the All-Star game.
And maybe they even know this. Now that they know they're going to be hosting, they're like, hey, man, we got to get a solid team together just to show face at least. Well, speaking of playoffs, we're getting down to it.
This is time. Teams are finally officially getting eliminated from the playoffs.
Right. We have
two teams have now punched their ticket.
Yep.
Which it was no surprise that Giants do it. I looked at it. I'm like, okay, Dodgers probably gonna do it the next night, and they did.
But think of what you just said.
Giants.
Would you have said that at the beginning of the season?
I wish I put money on the Giants now.
It's like I
to
bet
either make the playoffs.
What were their odds in the beginning?
Because right now they don't believe in them. They still have a plus 1,000 on DraftKings for them to win the World Series.
Crazy.
I decided to take it because the other night. They did. If you bet on an NFL game, you got $200 in free bets. Mm-hmm. So I have a free $25 bet. I'm like, sure, I'll put on Giants to win because they're doing something special this year.
Yeah,
I'll get take a free $250.
Right, and like I said, based off of where we were in the beginning of the year, who would have thought the Giants? And like you said, it's no surprise that they're there. Well, it is a surprise from where we were thinking.
Yeah, beginning of the year, they were not on our list. If I remember correctly, I had White Sox in Atlanta. Both of them are still in the playoff races, most likely probably win their divisions.
Right, but think about it, man. Think about the Giants. They don't have a big, I don't know, man. They don't have
They're
a big
bunch
team.
of veterans and a little bit of young.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like you put them next to the Dodgers. You're like, the Dodgers or Yankees. Yeah, these guys are so talented. They should be there. You go to the Giants. Who's that guy?
Yeah.
It's like,
if you think about it, their ace is Kevin Guzman, who was a third, fourth starter a couple years ago for the Orioles, which they gave up on and released. And he kind of hopped around the league there for 2 years, and now he has fixed it. We thought last year was possibly a fluke. That's why he signed the 1 year, the $17 million deal because he knew he wasn't going to get that nowhere.
It was a good deal, yeah.
And he is right back in it. So now that multi-year is good. I've done it 2 years in a row because everyone's saying it was a COVID year. You didn't have that many games.
Exactly.
Well, now I've done a full season. I have a 2-point-something ERA.
You've proven yourself.
So now pay me.
Yeah. So not only that's great for Guzman. The other thing that's great is that, we're not really thinking about this team right now, what we're going to be seeing in the future, because we're going to look back on this team and be like, man, what did they do? That was a special team.
And now, if you're a Philly fan, you're like, okay, it wasn't the coach. Because in 2 years.
I never said it was the coach, man.
In 2 years, he took a team that was nowhere near, almost making the playoffs last year. And now they are technically have the best record in baseball with 3 weeks left to play and possibly going to beat the defending champs for the division.
Well, you know what I said when they let go of the Phillies coach? I was like, just because you brought Harper in there for a year or so, and you thought that you guys were gonna do something special just from that one thing.
Only give him 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, give him some time. So obviously, he knows his stuff. So hey, more power to you.
So as of right now, San Francisco is 95-50.
Yeah,
95-50.
95-50, man.
And then Dodgers are 2.5 back at 93. They both punched their tickets.
Yep.
And then Padres are 74-70, which we thought they'd be right there in it, but they are 20.5 games behind the Giants.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy because a couple weeks ago they were kind of in it. And they've just been, since the trade deadline, they've been slowly falling off. Mm-hmm. Injuries, pitching's not there. We thought it was going to be a dangerous rotation. Well, I guess next year maybe when they get Clevenger back and they figure out what the hell's going on this year.
Yeah, well, we need to figure the same thing out with the Mets. I mean, the Mets
let's go
winning the division
our East
until after the break.
Yeah, bad weekend, and
now they're 5.5 games out.
And it was a perfect opportunity last night to be within 2.5 of the wild card because everyone lost yet last night, and then we end up losing in extras.
Hey, but my preseason call the Nationals finishing dead last is coming true almost.
I know. I was kind of surprised.
Well, now that they gave away Scherzer, we didn't know that was coming.
Yeah.
But they kind of gave up on their team this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Braves are leading that division.
Philly's 4.5 back. Yeah. We're 5.5 back. So we could technically have been in second place if we didn't lose last night. Big series this weekend for us because we face Philly.
You got to win those, man.
Here on out, I think Mets need to win out.
They need to win
it's a tough match
because
you got Philly this weekend. Then we go to Boston for 2 games. Then we host the Brewers, and then I think it goes Miami. But then we finish with Atlanta.
Yeah,
you're talking about, you literally need to take every series, if not sweep a couple of these, to have hope.
You know what's crazy, man, is that the Giants and Dodgers both are over 90 games winning, and the Padres are still over 74. I mean, there are 74 games that they've won. And, you look at other divisions, and if you win 74 games right now, you're pretty solid.
Yeah.
So that's something crazy to think about. But like you said, we just saw a no from the Brew Crew, and the Brew Crew are leading their division.
Yeah, I called them from the division. A lot of people, it was between them and Cardinals. And speaking of the Cardinals, they technically have the second wild card spot right now after beating us last night.
And they're 13 games back from the Brewers. Just think of how that speaks, man. Whew.
Yeah, so if you look at the wild card race right now, you have Dodgers as the home team. Duh.
Definitely.
But now Cardinals have the half-game lead over the Reds for the second wild card spot.
So the two wild cards,
Yep.
they're going to play each other.
A one-game playoff, just like
how
the way.
sucky is that going to be for the Giants to pull the Dodgers?
Yeah, and then
wild card?
winner gets
Or
to face the number one team.
Versa.
Yeah.
Those two guys need to be on separate ends.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's definitely unfortunate. It might even be unfortunate for the Dodgers.
Yeah, and if you think about it, Padres is still only a game out of the wild card, so you can still have to face your division rival for one game, say Dodgers and Padres, and then winner you get to face your division winner.
And if that happens, none of those are guaranteed because when you're in a division, it doesn't matter what your record is. The Padres could easily beat both those guys in the series, and then we'd be speaking about that like, whoa.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the thing I'm going to keep an eye on because that's the NL West is going to be those teams.
Yeah, so Reds are half game back, Padres are 1, Phillies 3 games, and Mets are 4 games. So that's pretty much it because Colorado's the next team at 8.5 back. You're thinking with 3 weeks left, that's pretty much done. So
it's got to be done.
So you're talking about Mets, Phillies, Padres, Reds, and then Cardinals are your teams that are in that second wild card since you already know that either Giants or Dodgers is
Absolutely.
going to be your host
Absolutely.
your wild card game.
Right, you guys are playing for the second spot.
And pretty much Milwaukee, like you said, they're what you just say?
They're 89 and 57, man.
They're 13 games up.
13
You're thinking
games.
There's not that many left. So you're thinking about if they somehow
They're
do
not
well
gonna
this
lose it.
weekend,
No.
you're talking about clinching that division.
They're going to clinch the division, I think, regardless.
I think they'll be the first because of how big of a lead they got.
That's what I'm saying. Even if they start blowing it and go 50-50, there's no way. I just don't see the Cardinals coming up 13 games. If they do, that would be a story.
And they face Cubs this weekend.
Right. Well,
so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games.
Yeah, it's not
so
happening.
if you somehow say to sweep the Cubs and your Cardinals
you gotta win
lose
like 11 in a row.
two of those games, you clinch the division this weekend.
You got to, but I'm saying,
or if they get swept this weekend.
If you're the Cardinals or the Reds, you got to pull the Yankees and win 11 or 12 or something, man. It's just unrealistic. I think the Brewers are going to be locked up next.
Yeah.
I
think they'll be the first one to clinch the division, to punch their ticket.
Yep. Nobody else from that division's going.
Nope.
NL West.
You're talking about the other two are possibly fighting for that second wild card spot.
Right. And
West,
unfortunately,
the first two. One's going to be your division winner. One's going to be your wild card host, and then
Padres are very likely
are trying to be that other wild card team.
Right.
Rockies.
Right.
Sorry. Diamondbacks. You're hopefully fighting for the number 1 pick next year.
Unfortunately, I think the Braves are going to lock up the East. It'll be tight. The Phillies and the Mets have to go on a run.
All I can say as a Mets fan, you can say you hope Atlanta has a 07 year like the Mets did, where they just collapse.
They could.
They could.
So when preseason, I think both of us thought the Braves were pretty solid. I did think they're going to be better than they were currently.
And the biggest thing is after losing your best player, you got this second wave, did a couple trades, and you vault yourself into the division lead. Mm-hmm. Pitching's finally there a little bit with Charlie Morton and others. Morton signed an extension, so he's there for a little bit longer. So I would say maybe by the next time we do this podcast, we'll have a more clearer picture of the playoff race, especially for the National League. American League, this is where it gets interesting. That American League East.
I think the Rays are locked. Man.
I think the Rays probably won that division with so much time left, but Toronto and Boston are tied right now for second place.
Yankees aren't far behind. They're right there.
Yankees are in fourth place, a half game out of those between those two.
And what I've been saying is one of the toughest divisions, definitely maybe in the East.
And what's worst part about those,
they're all over
80 those 4
wins.
teams, 3 max can make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's going to be above 500 and is going to miss the playoffs.
Right. I'm just right. Well, I'd hope they're above 500, but I'm just saying these teams are all over 80 wins right now, and somebody's not making it.
So if you think about it, there's a possibly a 90-win team that's not going to make the playoffs.
Exactly. But with that being said, you can almost guarantee that the wild cards are coming out of that conference.
Let's see, wild card for AL. Besides the East, you're talking Oakland's 4 games back, Seattle's 4 games back, and that's really it. Cleveland's 10.5 back. So you're thinking you have 2 West teams are at 4 games back. So unless you have some teams that collapse here the next 3 weeks, and they have a solid couple weeks they can sneak in.
But besides the division leaders, nobody else has 80 wins except for the Yankees, Red Sox, and Blue Jays, who are sitting 2, 3, and 4 in that division.
Yeah, Oakland has 77 wins, and Seattle has 78 wins.
But that's what I'm saying. It's that crazy of a division, man.
Yeah, and just like the Central with the NL with the Brewers, White Sox can almost lock it up this weekend too. They're 12.5 up.
Absolutely.
Cleveland has a bad series. White Sox finishes their, they're playing Angels right now, so you're talking they can probably clinch it this weekend, if not early next week. By the time we talk again, we'll probably talk about 2 division winners, most likely. And then the West, it's been up and down all year, getting closer, but Astros have quietly just kind of pulled away a little bit. They are 7 games up in that division of both Oakland and Seattle.
Not saying it's impossible, but it's very hard to catch
like
up.
you said, we know about it as Mets fans. Collapse that could happen with 2 weeks left, where
we know
you just do terrible baseball and
we're used to it.
Lose the division on the last day of baseball.
We're used to that stuff, man.
So, but there's a possibility. So, if you think about it, your defending AL champions are going to be right back in it, and looks like going to be the number 1 seed yet again for the second year.
Wow! After
losing 2 of your starting pitching, technically you can say 3 because what is it? The pitcher that didn't Tyler. Wow, name blank. Tommy John surgery early in the year because of the sticky substance.
Oh, he was blaming.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I'm drawing the name blank right now, but he's technically out for the year. So you think about, you trade a player away, 1 signed with Atlanta, and then you got 1 hurt. So your top 3 pitchers last year are all hurt or gone off your team, and you're still the number 1 team in the AL.
Yep.
That speaks volume, and especially you made the right trade to get Cruz to be that bat, and you brought up the number 1 prospect in baseball, Wander Franco, that has been just tearing it up since he's been called up. Man, Tampa Bay, they might do it. But those White Sox, they're finally all getting healthy, those young guys.
Yeah.
So, and that pitching's been very well too. So it's going to be interesting playoffs all around. So right now, am I sticking with my early picks? I'm confident in White Sox. Atlanta, I don't know if I'm confident.
No, I don't think I'm confident in
Atlanta. Dodgers can easily do it again. We haven't seen a repeat winner since the Yankees, 2000 and 99. Those years.
I think, yeah. I mean,
my gut. That's why I said I put the money. Baseball's weird. Giants can win it.
Yeah, dude.
It's an odd year, so maybe it's gonna
be
it's gonna be their new thing. It's gonna be odd year instead of even year, like it was last 10 years.
I like the Giants' odds right now.
Veterans, man. The mixtures. They're 9-1 the last 10 games.
It'd be cool to see some playoff Mike Yaz.
And I'm just like, he posted clinch and the shirts. I'm like, I'm happy for him.
Dude, me too. I'm just saying, I'm happy for any of those guys we get to watch come here in Norfolk and play, because we know what kind of grind it is when you're playing a lot of the years on a AAA team, and then you finally get called,
blocked, and now you get traded, or
like Christian Walker, man. I just felt so bad for him at the time.
A couple of different teams hopped around,
but I'm glad they get their chances.
They got the chance, and Mike, was traded for a relief pitcher and worked his way up.
What I'm saying, we go to the games and we see like Christian Walker, Mike Yaz, and then we're like, it's gonna be a grind for these guys to get up there. But we see guys like Trey Turner and Judge, and we're like, you're not gonna be here very long.
Yeah.
So we know, what I'm saying.
That's the thing. I need to go the next couple weeks, go see Adam Rushman and Tides, because
he's gonna be.
I'm almost certain there's a good chance he might start with the Orioles next year, starting the season.
He probably will.
How he's doing so well with the AAA team.
Yeah, batting average is nuts.
He's hitting, I think, 2 triples tonight already before we started this.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
not gonna be here next year.
I'm almost certain he's not. I said, I think I need to go try at least 1 autograph.
Yeah.
See him a couple games, because I'm almost certain he's not gonna be here.
Yeah, we're not seeing him again.
Took him long enough to bring him here to Norfolk.
I know. Yeah, but think about it. That's the fact that he's been here that long it says something, because usually we're used to them. The way they do it is going from AA, 1 game in AAA, and then they're never coming back. Like, they play AA most of the time.
Yeah, Orioles, the previous regime, like Manny Machado, and them stopped at AA and got called straight to Orioles.
Exactly, they'd skip us altogether.
So Trey Mancini was one of the first ones. They had a kind of top prospects that kind of went through Norfolk. So Rushman's here. I'm like, this is the slow process, but if there was still the 40-man roster, like when they expanded from September, he probably would be with the team right now.
Right.
but they only add 2 more players. What's the point of letting him get some AAA bats still?
Yeah.
And, especially since
fresh.
AAA extended through October. So
yeah, man, that's cool.
You're not like getting, it was usually like right after Labor Day the season ended.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had playoffs, then okay. So if you didn't have playoffs, you probably would got called to the major leagues to get some more at bats. But now you got a whole month of AAA baseball. Might as well leave them down there.
Well, you got to make this move quick because October's right around the corner.
I know, quick. Just like it's already here. Like Zoe's first birthday. It's like
crazy, man.
Oh my god! Like a couple weeks ago when we did she's 11 months. I'm like, we're a month away already. It's insane.
Time flies, man.
It does, man.
It's crazy.
And baseball season's almost over, and playoffs, cold weather, man. So I think that might be it for us this week.
All right.
Of course, there's other things that we probably missed this couple weeks, but I don't want to talk too much about it since you've probably known if you listen to this podcast some of these news and notes and stuff. So I think that's gonna be it for us this week. We'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Peace.